It's Aloha Friday. I'm Lahaina Lee, and this is your Maui Real Estate Market Report for Friday, November 20th. That's 11/20/2020. That's just too many 20s for me. Thanks for stopping by. First, let me say it's great to be back on Maui. If you watch the Real Estate Report regularly, you might have noticed I've been absent. Well, we took our lives into our hands and went to California to visit Barb's mom. She's getting up there in age. And we also met the newest great-grandchild, Tucker. I'm not old enough for that, but anyway, also known as Burrito Baby, but that's a whole different story. We took COVID tests before leaving. We didn't want to take that to Grandma or the new baby. So what is traveling like in the time of COVID? As you might imagine, it was a little bit different. On the way out, the Maui airport, OGG, was almost deserted. We'll post some pictures on the website because you almost have to see it to believe it. We flew Alaska and the flight was maybe 30-40% full. The middle seats were empty. Everyone wore masks. Services were minimized, but other than that, the flight was pretty normal. Before returning, we took another COVID test in order to avoid the quarantine when we got home. We did a saliva test, through Vault, one of the trusted partners for Hawaii, and it was pretty slick. Barb ordered the test kits online and they were UPS'd to our daughter's house. We had a Zoom appointment with one of the Vault techs who verified our identities and watched us spit into a test tube. She watched us seal the tube and then seal the tube into the UPS shipping container. We received the results, negative, via email in about 36 hours. We flew Hawaiian out of Sacramento back to Maui. There were a few more people on board, lots of families with small children. It seemed most of the couples traveling together had empty middle seats, but the families were in rows, including the middle seats. The arrival back to OGG was impressively smooth. We heard about long lines and 1 or 2 hour waits. However, they had a walking path cordoned off with several people, security, National Guard, and airport personnel dressed in bright yellow Aloha attire, directing us through. We walked right up to a plexiglass protected worker who checked our identity, our QR codes, and gave us a pink sheet and sent us on our way. It took minutes. It was so nice to be back in warm Maui after cold California. I took off my shoes and socks and got my slippers on right away. And how are things on Maui? According to Civil Beat, we've been holding in the single digits for new COVID cases. Our high point was 9 new cases one day last week. Considering that Halloween was 3 weeks ago, I would expect that if we were going to have a spike resulting from all of those gatherings and the return of visitors from the mainland, it would have happened by now. Next up, Thanksgiving. The governor also announced pre-travel testing for Canadian visitors will start in mid-December as well. As travel gets easier, more people are returning and more businesses are opening. Masks are required. Governor Ige says if you're ever confused about whether or not you should be wearing a mask, then you probably should be wearing one. The fine for violating public health policy is $5,000, and real estate activity remains very strong. Last week, the National Association of Realtors reported that sales of existing homes jumped 4.3% nationally. That's up from 26.6% from October of 2019. On Maui, home sales have been very strong for the last 3 months, and condos, there were 120 condos sold in October. In October of 2019, there were 129 condos sold. Oh, and the median selling price for a condo in Maui in October 2019, that was $510,000. The median selling price last month, $581,160. So if you're waiting for the COVID discount to kick in, I don't see any statistical signs that that's going to happen. And what is happening? Let's do the numbers and find out. Total closed sales for the week hit 71. That's up after last week's 52. 26 homes sold at a median selling price of $862,500. It seems like that's the new sweet spot price-wise for homes, But last week, the median selling price was $1,104,500. Wow. 35 condos sold. That's the most since the first week in August. The median selling price was a cool $500,000. New pending sales have been up and down from the high 50s to the low 70s weekly. There were 58 last week with 17 homes and 34 condos. The median asking price for homes was $925. Condo sales are on the rebound. After new contracts lagged down in the 20s throughout October, they've been in the 30s in November, except for last week when there were 43. That's a really good sign for would-be condo sellers. New listings were back up to 77. There were 28 new homes listed, almost as many as the previous 2 weeks combined, and the median asking prices for those remain in the $1 million plus category. New condos for sale have been in the 30s for the last 3 weeks, just about the same as the number of sales in that time frame. If new listings continue to be equal to sales, we'll have a balanced market, which means that prices will remain stable. Expiring listings just remained low. There were just 3 last week, 1 house and 1 condo. Canceled listings have also remained pretty steady. There were 23 canceled last week with just 4 homes and 11 condos. That's our report for the week. You can get all the numbers and the full transcript at MauiRealEstateMarketReport.com, your weekly real estate and what's happening on Maui report. If you have any questions about what's going on Maui, or if you'd just like to say aloha, give us a call or send us a text or an email. Have a great Thanksgiving. With everything that's going on, we still have a lot to be grateful for. Stay well, stay safe, and aloha. Ask your doctor if Maui is right for you.